everybody, and welcome to our community yoga class. We do this every Mondays at 6:45 p.m. It is a free session. It usually varies in terms of themes. And for today, we're exploring one of my favorite themes when it comes to your yoga practice, and that is the relaxing and the calming effect that your practice can provide you. And when you get that relaxing and that calming effect, we are able to manage a little bit better our stress. And I'm sure it's the end of the day. You probably had a long day and stress has built up already. So this is a nice way to kind of end your practice, end your day rather, with this practice that is relatively relaxing in nature. But as always, if ever you feel like you need to take a break, if ever you feel like you need to take a pause, please do not hesitate to do so and just come join the group whenever you feel like you are ready. Okay? So for those who are ready, I will meet you in child's pose. You're going to come down onto your hands and your knees. You're going to open your knees as wide as your mat. Sit on your heels and then crawl your hands forwards. Melt your chest and your forehead down to the floor. Take a moment to settle into your child's pose, which means that if there's any adjustments that your body has to take, maybe you adjust your knees wider or narrower, maybe you have your arms reaching forwards or arms reaching back, by all means explore how that child's pose can contribute just a little bit more to your personal management of your stress. Knowing that we are all built differently, and maybe the suggestions that I give fit some of you, or maybe for some of you it doesn't. So as we start our practice, I want you to tune in as to how this pose can be a little bit more personal, a little bit more you. Now, as your body gets comfortable in this shape, go ahead and find your breaths. Use your breaths to help you unwind just a little bit more here. As you inhale, try to pinpoint where your stress resides for today. And then as you exhale, send out comfort to that body part. As you inhale, try to pinpoint where your tension has built up. And as you exhale, send out ease wherever you need it. And just do this technique that can contribute to stress reduction and management just a little bit more on your own. With each inhalation, you pinpoint a portion of your body. It might need a little bit more attention for today. And as you exhale, send out your breath to that body part. 5 more, please. Breathing in. Breathing out 1. Inhale. Exhaling 2. Inhale. Exhaling 3. Inhale. Exhaling 4. Inhale. And exhale 5. Please roll yourselves up into tabletop position. Come up onto your hands and your knees. And as you arrive there, just go ahead and sway your hips side to side. Allow your shoulders to move right and left. And just allow yourselves to get comfortable in your space by fidgeting around, moving around. Noticing where you need a little bit more movement for today. Now go ahead and just start to stabilize in your tabletop position. And let's take a couple of rounds of your cat and cow. On an in breath, let your belly drop down. Tilt your chin, tailbone to the sky. And then as you exhale, push away from the floor. Round your spine and look down to your thighs. We go again. Inhale, drop your belly down. Tilt your chin, tailbone up to the ceiling. And then exhale, push away from the floor, round your spine. Please do your cat and cow stretches a couple more times on your own. This is a great movement that allows you to connect a little bit more with your breaths. And those breaths can be very beneficial whenever you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, tired, sore. You utilize your breath to calm you down so that you can respond to whatever situation that you are facing a little bit more humanely. Alrighty. Finish off one more set. Take a big breath in as you arch the back. And then exhale, round your spine. Now from here, we're setting up for our downward facing dog. You're gonna curl your toes and lift your hips up to the sky. But rather than just finding stillness in the pose, we're gonna fidget around here as well. So go ahead and pedal out your knees, bending one knee at a time. And as you do so, please press your heel as heavily as you can to the floor, feeling that nice long line on the back of your thigh. Now keep your knee pedals, but this time you gaze forwards and you walk your feet all the way towards the front end of your mat. Once you arrive at the front, you're gonna swim your arms behind you, reach your arms behind you, and you can stay there with your arms extended up to the ceiling, or maybe interlace your fingers and move your arms as far away from your bum. Micro bend to your knees so that you're not hyperextending the legs, and instead allowing yourselves to drape just a little bit more into this fold. Take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, let your arms dangle down to the floor. And with soft knees, begin to roll yourselves up bone by bone, head coming up last. Now, once you are upright, please go ahead and circle your arms all the way up to the sky. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms so that your palms are facing up to the ceiling. Now go ahead and check at your feet if they are hips width apart, lining up your ankles underneath your hip points, just allowing yourself to have a bigger base with your feet. Now inhale here as you push a little bit higher with your arms. And then exhale, imagine like you're sitting down on a chair, and then you're going to push your arms forwards and round to your back. We go again. Inhale, sweep your arms up, arching your spine. And then exhale, pushing your palms forwards, bend to your knees, and round your back. So please do a couple more rounds on your own. This is a modification of your cat and cow stretches. Again, finding that nice connection with your breaths. And at the same time, creating space and length for your back body. Find your breaths, you guys. Long, deep breaths in. And long, deep breaths out. Finish off one more round. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Now reach your arms up to the sky as you inhale. Exhale, hands onto your waist. And then you're going to open out to the long end of your mat. Step 1 foot back and open your feet to face the long end of your mat. Now once you are there, you're going to circle your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, let's take a side stretch. Lower your right hand down by your sides. And reach your left arm up and over. Feel that length from left foot all the way up to your arm. On an in breath, lift back up to the center, please. And then exhale, take it down to the left side this time. Reach your right arm up and over your head. On an in breath, come back up to the center, reach your arms up to the ceiling. And then exhale, we're going to take a forward fold. So hinge from the hips and begin to lower your arms down to the floor. You can bend to your knees if ever you're having a hard time reaching the mat. Now keep your left hand down to the floor and begin to open your right arm out and then up to the sky. Inhale here, and then exhale, lower that right hand down to the floor. And this time, it is your left arm that goes up and to the sky. Inhale here, and then exhale, lower that hand down again to the floor. Go for the right side once again, but this time, I'm going to give out the extra option of wrapping your right arm around your back, like grabbing a hold of your left thigh, and then you spiral your chest to face just a little bit more to the side. Now, if in case you're having a hard time doing this, no problem. You can also place your left hand on top of a chair or a table. That will provide you a little bit more height for the torso. Take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, lower your right hand down to the floor, your chair or your table, wherever you are. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So left hand up this time. And you have that extra option to wrap that left arm around your back, spiraling your chest open into that twist. take a big breath in here, please. And then exhale, let your arms dangle down to the floor. Micro bend to your knees and begin to roll yourselves up bone by bone, head coming up last. On an in-breath, reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, grab a hold of your left wrist. And then tip over to the right. Now you can stay here, having that nice big base with your feet. Or maybe slide your legs together. And let your left ankle cross in front of the right, allowing you to bump your hips more to the left and you lengthen a little bit more to the right. On an in-breath, please come back up to the center and then exhale, open your feet wide and release your arms down by your sides. Now we're going for the same thing on the other side. Reach your arms up. And this time you're grabbing a hold of your right wrist. Pull it up and tip over to the left. And again, you can stay here more than enough of a stretch. Or maybe you challenge stability and you bring your feet closer to each other. Maybe your body is craving for a little bit more stretch. And you let your right ankle cross in front of the left and you bump your hips more to the right as you lengthen a little bit more to the left. And it doesn't make the pose more superior than the previous options. Just different options that different bodies can take. On an in-breath, please come back up to the center. And then exhale, open your legs nice and wide once again. Arms by your sides. Okay, so we're going to finish off our standing series with a warrior. You're going to let your right toes turn out, bend your right knee, open your arms out to a T in line with the shoulders. Once you are there, please look towards your right hand, quiet the mind in this relatively strong and powerful pose. I wanted to incorporate this warrior pose in our stress management session for today. Because whenever you find yourself stressed, tense, overwhelmed, anxious, or lost, sometimes you gotta lean on yourself and find that strong warrior that's always there with you. Just need a reminder every now and then that it is innate within you. Feel that strong warrior that you are. Inhale. And exhale. Straighten your right leg as you lower your arms down by your sides. Let's go for the other side. So right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Bend your left knee and then open your arms out to a T in line with the shoulders. Look towards your left hand and again just feel that strong warrior that you are. Focus, grounded, and balanced for today. One more breath in your warrior. Inhale and exhale. Straighten your left leg. Lower your hands down by your sides. And then please go ahead and step to the very front end of your mat. Please make your way towards the front end of your space. Alrighty, now from here on an in-breath, go ahead and circle your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, take that forward fold, dive down towards your legs, reach down for the floor. We're making our way to downward facing dog, so please find that inverted V position with your body. On an in-breath, ripple yourselves forwards into plank. And then as you exhale, lower yourselves down, down, down to the ground. You might need to scoot yourselves back to the center of your space because we're setting up for our Sphinx Pose. So go ahead and land your forearms in front of you. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Your shoulders are rolling back and you are expanding through your front body. Take a moment in this mini back bend and see how your back body feels. Some of you might want to stay here already. Others might want to come up into seal pose. Push with your palms and lift your elbows up. You can play around with the distance of your palms from your torso, maybe moving them closer to you, further from you, wider or narrower. You have the option of letting your fingers turn out as well, like the flippers of a seal. And wherever your back bend has brought you, find a little bit more expansion, find a little bit more breath connection. Take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, allow your palms to turn in and slowly lower back down to the floor. Stack your forearms on top of each other and rest your forehead on top of your arms. Take a moment to reset with your spine. Maybe let your hips sway side to side, side to side. Now, when you're ready, slide your hands back alongside your chest. Press yourselves up to tabletop position. And then come to sit in your Japanese seat or seiza. Feet together, knees together, sit on your heels. Any pain here, you can sit on top of a block or a stool. That will help you ground down just a little bit more with your sit bones. On an in-breath, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, swim your arms back and interlace your fingers behind you. Move your arms as far away from your bum. So it's similar to the stretch that we did a while ago in our forward fold. But this time around, find a little bit more lift, a little bit more expansion to your chest. Now you can stay here with the torso upright or begin to lean your torso halfway forwards, allowing you to move your arms further and further from your back body. Sometimes we hold a lot of our tension on our shoulders and our neck. So this should feel like a nice release for that portion of your body. Now on an in-breath, roll your torso upright. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Let your back body recover. And then exhale, lower your arms down. And please make your way to your butterfly pose. Come to sit. Bring the bottoms of your feet together and open your knees out nice and wide. We won't be too strict with alignment, so I invite you to find a distance of your feet to your groin that is comfortable for your hips. Maybe shimmy out your hips a couple of times so that you feel more rooted with your sit bones. Maybe flap your knees up and down a couple of times to release some of the pain, strain, tension around your hip joint. Now when you're ready, Inhale to lengthen to your spine. And then as you exhale, walk your hands an inch forwards and come into a little bit of a fold. Inhale, lengthen to your spine once again. And then exhale, maybe walk your hands another inch forwards and come into a fold. And then on that next one, inhale, lengthen your back body. And you make an assessment. If your body is craving for a deeper forward fold, feel free to walk your hands more forward. Feel free to bow down a little bit more. But if your body is telling you it's too much for today, then by all means, you can walk your hands back and come up a little bit higher in the pose. In as much as your yoga practice is a physical practice, when we come into those flows, when we explore advanced and difficult poses, it becomes a workout. It becomes challenging for the body. But in days when we need to slow it down, when we need a little bit more kindness, a little bit more understanding for our body, our mind, and in our heart, remind yourself that your yoga practice can be healing as well. Not just for your body, but for your emotional and mental well-being as well. So as you settle down into this fold, just let your body surrender. Let your mind quiet down. Allow your heart to feel what you are feeling in this pose. No judgment, no criticism. Just a sense of awareness of where you are at for today. One more breath here, please. Inhale. And then as you exhale, go ahead and roll your torso upright. Guide your knees together and let's take one last pose before we end. We're taking our Teepee Twist. So you hug your knees with your right arm and you place your left hand behind you. You look over your left shoulder as you come into that spinal rotation. Now, if you're up for it, you lengthen your right arm up as you inhale. And then exhale, hook your elbow against your knee, allowing you to press your arm and your leg a little bit more against each other so that you can get deeper and deeper into that rotation for your spine. Again, another pose that helps you release some of the tension, the stress that usually builds up in your back body. Inhale here. And then exhale, switching sides. Hug your knees with your left arm, right hand behind you. And again, more than enough of a twist. But if you're up for it, you lengthen your left arm up. You create space and length and space. And then hook your elbow against your knee, pushing your arm and your leg against each other to get deeper into that rotation for your spine. Breathing into the amount of space and length that you are creating with each breath that you take. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Please unwind from your twist and make your way to your easy seated position, crossing your legs in front of each other. Okay? So before we do our final supine or mat work poses, we're gonna do a little bit of breath work first, okay? So we'll be working with our Brahmari or our buzzing bee breath, which provides vibrations that can create a very calming effect, not only for the body, but maybe for your mind as well. Okay, so this is a great breath work to do that will allow you to turn a little bit more inwards and hopefully manage your stress. So you're gonna have both palms in front of you, have both palms in front of you. You'll be using your thumbs to cover your ears. You'll be using your thumbs to cover your ears. And then you'll be using your four fingers to cover your eyes. Okay, so before you do that, here's how your breath will go, okay? You'll inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, you hum, you create a buzzing sound. And then you go again, you inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, you hum and you create a buzzing sound. And then just try one more. Inhale through your nose. And then exhale, create that buzzing sound. And let it go. And already you might have felt the vibrations in your throat and your lips. Later on, when you cover your ears and your eyes, that vibration can transcend to other parts of your bodies, okay? Now, just so that you can hear me, because later on you will be covering your ears, I will be ringing a bell, which indicates that we are down to the last few seconds. Don't panic when you hear the bell. Just finish off the set that you are on, okay? We'll do this for about 2 minutes and see how it makes you feel, okay? So let me just grab my bell. Alrighty. So I will set you up for the first couple of rounds. Go ahead, cover your ears with your thumbs, cover your eyes with your 4 fingers. Inhale nose and hum it out. On your own, please. On your own, please. And again, I am keeping track of the time. We are doing this for 2 minutes. finish off your last few sets. And once you are done, just go ahead and rest your hands on top of your knees, keeping the eyes closed. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. The first time that I did the buzzing breath, I felt awkward, I felt weird. But when I started giving in to the power of that breath work, it made a little bit more sense to me how it can contribute to stress management and reduction. So I invite you to just notice how you feel, recognize the difference from when we started and now that we're about to close. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, please slowly transition to a lying position. Go ahead and lie down on the mat. Please just listen to my cues once you are lying down on the floor. I won't be demonstrating anymore. Please just listen to my cues. Now, once you are lying down on the floor, hug your knees in towards your chest and give yourselves a couple of gentle rocks, side to side. Massage your spine. Massage your spine. Now from here, lower your knees down to the right, all the way down to the right. And then open your left arm out to the side. Look over your left shoulder for a spinal twist. Allow your hips and your shoulders to feel heavy in this pose. Slowly come back to the center and go ahead and bring your knees down to the other direction, down to the left. As you open your right arm out to the side, look over your right shoulder. Another great pose that can contribute to stress reduction and management. And the great thing about this position is that you can do it even if you are lying on your bed. So say you had a long day and you just can't get yourself onto your mat, that's perfectly fine. You do a little bit of breath work on your bed. You do a little bit of your poses on your bed, and it can contribute to a better sleep. It can contribute to you relaxing a little bit more as you end your day. Please slowly come back to the center. Happy baby pose. You're going to grab a hold of the outer blades of your feet or the big toes with your peace fingers and your thumbs. And you let the bottoms of your feet face up to the sky, opening the knees wide. And you can stay still at the middle or again rock side to side just like a happy baby. And then maybe bend and extend the knees. See how that feels. Just breathing to the spaces that you have created. Now please take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, settle into your Shavasana. Lower your arms and your legs down to the floor. Open them out as wide as you want, as wide as you need. If you have an extra towel, maybe cover your eyes or maybe close some of the lights in your space. You can also use your favorite scent, an essential oil, a balm, or ointment that you usually rub on parts of your body that you feel again you need a little bit more attention. Sometimes when I'm feeling stress, I also like rubbing ointment on my palms and just placing them in front of my face before I settle into Shavasana. So just feel free to do what fits your needs for today, giving yourself priority, giving yourself your worth that you deserve, offering yourself the love, kindness, and understanding for today. Start to deepen your breaths. Long, deep breaths in. And long, deep breaths out. Once you feel like you're ready to introduce movements into your bodies, go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll your wrists, roll your ankles, and gently move your head side to side. Morning stretch. Reach your arms overhead, lengthen from the tips of your toes all the way to the tips of your fingers. Take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, Fetal Pose. Bend your knees to your chest, roll over towards one side of your body. And from there, please make your way to a seated pose. I invite you to have your eyes closed, placing one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly. Again, just taking a moment to embrace this time that we have offered ourselves to manage and reduce our stress in one form or another. We embrace the love, the kindness, and the understanding that we have offered ourselves as well throughout our practice. Now, for all of these, we gather our prayer hands in front of our chest and we bow down in a state of gratitude. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste. Thank